friends, it's Mrs. Villa again, back to read another story. So a few weeks ago, I read one of my favorite stories called Miss Nelson is Missing. And I told you that there were 3 books total in the series, and I was able to find one of the other books. And so I thought you would enjoy this one today. Miss Nelson Has a Field Day. And so what I want you to remember before we start reading Miss Nelson Has a Field Day is when we were reading Miss Nelson is Missing, a character that was introduced in this story. And that was Miss Viola Swamp. Do you remember that she was the one who took the place of Miss Nelson when Miss Nelson was out of school? Miss Swamp was her substitute. So just keep that in mind as we are reading Miss Nelson Has a Field Day. So this story is realistic fiction, which means it could happen, but it didn't happen, okay? So if the genre is realistic fiction, why do you think the author wrote this story? To inform you and give you facts? To persuade you, which means to try to get you to think what they're thinking, or to entertain you, either to make you laugh or cry or feel excited or scared. Yeah, the author's purpose for Miss Nelson Has a Field Day is definitely to entertain you. Okay. The author is James Marshall, and the illustrator is Harry Allard. Here we go. Miss Nelson Has a Field Day. Okay, get comfy, guys. For some weeks now, gloom had blanketed the Horace B. Smedley School. No one laughed or threw spitballs. No one even smiled. Miss Nelson was worried. Everyone was down in the dumps. Even the cafeteria ladies had lost their sparkle. So if you're down in the dumps, what does that mean? Yeah, it means you're sad. You're not happy. Mr. Blansworth was so depressed, he hid under his desk. "It's the worst team in the whole state," he said. And it was true. The Smedley Tornadoes were just pitiful. They hadn't won a game all year. And here we see the illustration of the Smedley Tornadoes. And judging by their uniform, what sport would we think that they are playing? Yeah, football. They hadn't scored even a single point. And lately, they seemed only interested in horsing around and in giving Coach the business. "Why practice?" they said. "We'll only lose anyway." Wow, what a terrible attitude. "We're in it for now," said old Pop Hansen, the janitor. "The big Thanksgiving game is coming up, and the werewolves from Central are real animals. They'll make mincemeat out of our team." "What's to be done?" said Miss Nelson. "We need a real expert," said Pop. That afternoon, while Miss Nelson was grading papers, she heard wild laughter. It was coming from the teacher's lounge. And remember, the teacher's lounge is the place that teachers can go to eat their lunch or talk to other teachers on their break. Coach Armstrong had cracked up. That means like he's going crazy, guys. "I'll make us a fresh pot of coffee," said Miss Nelson. When Coach had calmed down, Miss Nelson took him home in a taxi. "You need a nice, long rest," she said. The next day, it was announced over the PA that Coach Armstrong would be out for a long time with the measles. "Who will take his place?" said the kids. When Miss Nelson passed by Lulu's after school, a serious discussion was going on. "We need someone who can really get the team into shape for the big Thanksgiving game," said one kid. "Someone who knows how to get results." "It's too bad Miss Viola Swamp isn't around," said another. "Who?" said a kid who was new to the town. You've never heard of Miss Viola Swamp? Said the first kid. The meanest substitute in the whole wide world? She's a real witch. She'd have no trouble getting results. Mr. Blandsworth happened to overhear. He said. Said Miss Nelson, and she wasted no time getting home. After rummaging around her closet, she found what she was looking for, an ugly black sweatsuit. Then she made an important phone call. I'll be right there, said the voice on the end of the other line. The next day, Mr. Blandsworth announced that there would be football practice as usual. Whoever it is, said the guys, let's really give him the business. So when they keep saying, let's give the coach the business, that is their way of saying, hey, let's act up and be naughty and let's not listen and let's misbehave. So that's what they're planning on doing with the new coach. The doors to the coach's office flew open and out stepped a lady in an ugly black dress. My name is Viola Swamp, said the lady, and I am here to get results. Now, guys, does that really look like Viola Swamp from the first story? No. It's Blandsworth, cried the guys, and they laughed him off the field. Oh, rats, said Blandsworth. How could they tell? Just then, the guys heard the sound of squeaky tennis shoes. I am Coach Swamp, said the lady in the black sweatsuit. And on her shirt, guys, it says, Coach, and don't you forget it. Holy smoke! Cried the team. The swamp! The team's fullback tried to pussyfoot away. Not so fast, Mr. Smarty, said Coach Swamp. Wow, said one of the guys. Did you see that tackle? Look at her, guys. Coach Swamp was a real expert. She put the team to work right away. The guys had never done so many leg raises. More, said Coach Swamp. They had never run so fast. Faster, yelled Coach Swamp. This is murder, said the guys. Pipe down, said Coach Swamp. In only a matter of days, the Smedley Tornadoes were looking better. Coach Swamp really gave them the business. Mr. Blandsworth was a little puzzled, however. Who is that, Miss Swamp? He said. Maybe Miss Nelson knows. I'll go and ask. Miss Nelson was busy grading papers when Blandsworth looked in. I don't want to disturb her, said Blandsworth. She probably doesn't know anyway. Down on the field, Coach Swamp was having a little talk with the team. And don't ever think you can horse around again, she said, because the swamp will be watching. When Coach Armstrong returned after his rest, he was very surprised by what he found. The guys played like a real team. How did this happen? Said Coach Armstrong. Said the guys. So why do you think they're playing better now? They were just horsing around or giving him the business before to the other coach, but now that the swamp or Coach Swamp is here, they're really getting down to business practicing. Why do you think that is? Maybe she's a little stricter or more firm and she's demanding them to try instead of just giving up. On Thanksgiving Day, the tornadoes clobbered the werewolves 73-3. Wow, guys. And remember, the tornadoes are the team that Coach Swamp is coaching. It was a great day for the Horace B. Smedley School. Because they won. Woo! Go Tornadoes! Mr. Blandsworth treated the whole team to hot dogs at Lulu's. Miss Nelson went home, tired and happy. Sometimes you just have to get tough, she told her sister Barbara. And by the way, thanks for filling in for me. Anytime, said Barbara. Anytime. Guys, what does this mean? Look closely. We see two people who look exactly the same. So we can draw the conclusion that they must be what? Twins, right? And so this is really important as a reader, where we have to stop and think and draw our own conclusions, making inferences as we were reading and listening to the story. So this last page lets us know that obviously Miss Nelson has a sister. But listen to this. Sometimes you just have to get tough, she told her sister Barbara. So that's what Miss Nelson was telling her sister. And by the way, thanks for filling in for me. Anytime, said Barbara. Anytime. So if her sister was filling in for her, that means Barbara was pretending to be Miss Nelson and she was pretending to be the teacher. So who do you think Miss Nelson was pretending to be? Think about it. I know you guys can get it. If you need to play back and listen to the story again, you can. So I hope that you enjoyed Miss Nelson Has a Field Day. I do not own the rights to this story and was reading it for educational purposes only. I love you guys very much and I miss you. And of course, you know, I love you more than coffee. All right, guys, I look forward to reading to you again soon. Have a great day. Bye.